advancing. There's I make it takes the catch. He has been in the game from the time he came, and he has taken a comfortable catch at the end. And there goes Walters. Walters loses his wicket. 4 Charlotte strikers are 8 for 1, and we are into over number 2.
Yes, we saw at the stage where Alex was about to take the catch. Obed and Alex both calling for the catch. Important that Alex kept his eyes on it, because he could have easily been distracted by the movements of Obed McCoy.
Yes, and to know that they wouldn't have to change their approach when there's a rotation of strike.
That is also something that we have to look at, because tactically, with a left and right hand partner pair in the wicket, it gives the bowler something else to think about. Here almost in trouble there. First of all, the shot trying a piece of land on the onside was poor. We didn't make contact. Then he was looking for a single, and it looks like is that pair or Harper came around trying to run him out again. And so some concern here for Charlotte strikers.
There's a good delivery there on that one, pitching slightly outside the leg stump. Thus there was no appeal. And then with the angle of Tijon, for him to get an LBW, bowling over the wicket to the left-hander, it will be quite difficult for him. But having mentioned the promote, well, Kieran Katoa's batting position in this game, I think that he would want to replicate what was done by Asif in the first game. Being the captain, he'd want to lead from the front.
Yes, he definitely would not have a lot of time to get in here. He would be conscious that his team needs to get a good start in these power play overs, so he doesn't have much time to do it.
Looks quite accomplished behind that one, but could not beat the man again. Harper at that point area. The score stays on 9 at the end of over number 2. The Grenadine Divers were 15 without loss. The 4 Charlotte strikers, they are 9 for 1. 6 runs difference, but there was a really strong period for the Grenadine Divers from here onward.
You can see that Samuel is being substituted there, and the fieldsman that is coming on is Romano Pierre. I don't know if he sustained some injury or some damage while he was taking that skied catch. But as you mentioned, Roxell, they would need to get some impetus going here, even though they would try to do so without losing many wickets. But they need to get going.
Yeah, Pope has heard you. He goes through the mid-wicket area, looking for one. They're looking for a second. They're going to get that quickly. They are now required to score at 13.28 runs per over, Miles.
Yes, I think Hooper has recognized that if he can restrict them in this power play period, it makes the target all the more daunting. So he has opted to complete his quota of 2 in order to sustain the pressure in these power play overs.
Yes, that's a very shrewd assessment, Miles, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Since we played, it looks like they're going to look for they settled for 1 from the beginning. Again for the square, and Tijon Pope off of that square leg boundary comes in and does the fielding.
So again, spinner to spin, this will be interesting. As mentioned, the first game, spinners always want to take on each other. Yes.
Yeah, Super seems quite satisfied to maintain a length further back in the wicket, forcing and a tight straight line.
Right. 2 diamond deliveries there. We call them diamond deliveries. Dot balls are valuable, precious commodities in this version of the game. See Hooper diving away there, trying to make sure that it doesn't go past any of the fielders, and slowly moving up to 13 for Charlotte Strikers, 13 for 1, and this is over number 3 of their power play.
And as if it's almost as if he knew that Gideon would want to use his feet to get closer to the pitch, and he has completed his second over, a very, very good over in the circumstances, and that continues to build the pressure, keeping coals of fire upon his opposition team.
Yes, 2 overs for 8 runs, and he would be very happy with that.
And with that economy rate, it has now pushed the required run rate to 14.57. So they need 102. 102 is needed of 7 overs. Not at all improbable, but they're going to have to start pushing very soon.
Because I think they would need 1 big over at some point in excess of 20. Because every over most likely would not go for 40. We saw some obstruction behind the bowlers now, as Qatar asks one of the photographers to move. Yeah, again with Pope's angle, I think that he needs to start that delivery just on our leg stump to the left-hander. His angle, he usually takes the ball across the left-hander, so he needs to pitch it a little bit more within the line of the stumps, or just outside the leg stump in order to get it to meet the batsman on the stump, and so far he has been a bit too wide. That's a better line, a little full, so Qatar may be disappointed not having made contact with that one.
Well, Miles, with the quality of cricketers around where we are seeing us showing around in St. Vincent and Grenadines, must be a difficult task to select a 15 to represent St. Vincent.
Well, fortunately, the Windward Island tournament is a 2-day tournament, and we definitely have a wide array of limited over players. But for 2-day cricket, the pool is not so big, but the task is still not easy.
Drives going through that area. I make it for wideish mid on into the boundary now for 4, and this time he made a good contact, and Katoy has to come to the party, and this is going to be an important over in the scheme of things from my estimation. Yes,
the last power play over, they are way behind the required rate. They definitely have to get some momentum starting now.
Same shot, same result. Kiri's on the move. That's 2 4s. It's not as straight as the Connery stretch, but definitely a wonderfully played stroke there by Kotori.
Yes, and you could see he's eyeing up that long region because of the line that Pope is electing to use. So Pope would have to rethink his strategy here, and that's putting the onus back on the bowler, and that is good cricket there from Captain Kotoy.
Yes, Kotoy recognizing that based on the field setting that he has to bowl a shorter length. So he is advancing just to get that much closer that he could play that straight batted shot and beat the straight fielders inside the circle.
Short back of the length and getting around comfortably in the end is a pair. Does the fielding. One more to the total though. 23 for 1. And we are into the final over of the power play. Over number 4 of the 4 challenge strikers batting innings.
And what we noticed there is that for the delivery after Kotoy struck that boundary, that keeper Latchman came up to the crease to try to restrict him from using his feet, and he didn't advance on that previous delivery.
Trying to go hard there was Pope. I don't this is Gidron Pope. It didn't make as clean as contact as he would have liked, and it's bubbled out to Obed McCoy, who came around and did the fielding. So still behind the 8 ball, so to speak, still required to score almost at 15 runs and over. This time it's going high, hard into the mid wicket position for the of mid wicket, a little wider position there. Guess what? It is what we call a sunset smasher as Gidron Pope gets into the action, and they have moved on to 29. Yes, 29 after 4 overs. We need to see a few more of these miles.
Yes, definitely. Pope, I think, has been really trying to hit the ball very hard. In doing so, losing his shape a bit, head in the air. It's at these times you have to realize the fundamentals. You need to watch the ball as long as possible. You need to hold your shape, and it is something that we see commonly with our West Indian players. A lot of times we go for power, and in doing so, take our eyes off the ball and lose our shape.
What we will say with Pope is that, judging on the size of these boundaries, he doesn't need to go that hard after the bowling in order to clear the boundaries. We know he has the power, and he also has the skill, so there's no need for him to be trying to hit the ball that hard. I mean, 6 just barely over the ropes and 6 on the roof of the double decker, it's still 6 runs, it's not 12.
And to be honest, at this stage, after 4 overs, the Grenadine Divers were 36 for 1. Just 7 runs behind is the 4 challenge strikers, and with the batters who are at the crease, it's easy. It could be easy for them to catch up this gap. Robert McCoy into the attack now, and getting a single very quickly. There is Kieran Kotoy.
Yes, they don't have to panic at all at this stage, Roxanne. Judging with the comparison between the two teams as to where they were at this particular stage, they have in the dugout still Williams, who we know is a very clean hitter, and also Stoke, and these two. So what they need to do is realize that it's not a lost cause.
And this cannot be a lost cause if it's going for 6 again into the mid-wicket area. This is Gidron Pope on the go. Make it a second consecutive 6. He moves on to 20. He moves on to 18, 36 for 1, and they are now stepping on the gas.
Yes, Pope realizing here that he has to take the attack. That would allow Kotoy the opportunity to bat deep into the innings.
Full toss onto the pads, whipped again down to the mid-wicket area, coming off the boundary there. Looks like one of those Brown brothers does the fielding, and one more to the total.
Yes, it appears that is Shem Brown. Braxy Brown on the square leg boundary. A change of bat here for Kotoy. Maybe he's bringing out the heavier one for his hitting after having gotten himself set at the crease. Definitely within the realms of possibility, the target. It just is whether he will be able to execute.
So that's a good delivery by McCoy. Probably best delivery of his over so far. Beating Kotoy outside the off stump, and really in a good area. Miles, something we would probably ask our bowlers to do technically all the time, or attempt to do all the time.
Yes, a very good area, good length, good pace and bounce. Kotoy and Pope would have to be mindful here that Obed is one of the more senior bowlers in this attack.
Good cricket here, though. Again, on a good line and length, asking questions if Kotoy comes forward and just plays it in front of him there on the offside and gets a single.
Yes, with Hooper completing 2 and McCoy one of his 2, that would just leave one more for McCoy and then a battery of less experienced bowlers. So that is an opportunity for the 4 Charlotte strikers.
Good delivery there by McCoy, and yeah, I do agree with you, but we also can't forget that in the attack is one of the bowlers who has taken a hat-trick in this tournament in Jaron Wiley.
Yeah, but the left-handers, I think, would want to fancy their chances more so against Wiley than some of the other teams that have a battery of right-handers. What I would say is that in reference to Miles' comment about the bowlers who are left, steady medium, most of them other than Wiley are steady medium pacers, so I would think that these 2 batsmen in particular will think that they should be able to target those bowlers and to get those big overs that they require.
So as we speak, Wiley is getting ready to begin his, the first of possibly 2 overs that he'll get to bowl today. The total 39 for 1, halfway stage in terms of the allotment of overs for Charlotte strikers. They are 39 for 1. At this stage, we had the Grenadine Divers at 44 for 1. Goes down to a wide-ish long on position, gets a single.
Yes, Wiley is quite the Wiley type of bowler. He mixes up his length and pace.
Again, he saw that Connor was coming down, he pulled the length back and also went a bit wider. And we saw that from him in the first match, that he was able at the very last moment to make adjustments based on what the batsman was doing.
This one is gone. This one is definitely again into the mid-wicket position, down to the boundary for another sunshine smasher. Pope continues to press on. They are now 47 for 1. Pope moves to 27, and while he's there, once he's there, this total is gonna always be in sight.
Yes, Pope realizing that Wiley will not want to be coming too full. He used the depth of his crease there and got back and was able to dispatch that over the mid-wicket.
Good return, good comeback, that is, by I make it Wiley. A dot ball, time on delivery, still required to score at 15.69, gradually increasing as we go. Driving this one to the man at a short mid-wicket position there, and there is no run.
There's excellent length on that last delivery by Wiley. Not much room to get under it.
Oh my, another sunshine smasher into the mid-wicket area. He's peppering that area there, Pope. This morning, we still about 15 minutes before we get into lunch. At the lunchtime, normally it's in Vincent for a sumptuous meal. Normally it's in Vincent around this time on Sundays. You know what I mean? But the warm is catching up. Yes, according to the scorer, 53 for 1. 53 for 1 after 6 overs. At this stage, the Grenadine Divers were 54 for 1.
Yes, and as Alanson mentioned earlier, the power of Pope, he got that one nowhere near the middle of the bat, but it was a mighty swing, and it just did enough to get over the rope.
So you can see that the gap between the two teams as far as the warm is concerned is narrowing, and I would expect that the four Charlotte strikers would want to score exponentially from here on, so that they would match the rise that took place during the Grenadine Divers innings. And you can see that the fielders and the Grenadine Divers, they're a bit more concerned at this point. They're not as chirpy as they were initially, and of course they realize now that the game is on.
Braxy Bong is coming into attack now for the Grenadine Divers. The required total now, they need now 62 from 4 overs. Toy trying to go into the on side there, but again with a pretty good pace there, Braxy Brown, and a good line to start with in his first delivery.
Yes, based on the field set here, we see mid-off up in the circle. We know that he's not going to be getting to full.
Similar delivery, similar shot, and similar result. No run scored. Another diamond delivery, and every diamond delivery that is bowled by the Grenadine Divers, the run rate goes up. It's now 16.91.
I think Katoy would want to give at this point most of the strike over to Pope, who has been hitting the ball quite cleanly. That's an excellent catch by Ansel Latchman. That one coming off the glove, and that was an excellent catch, diving away to his left, and he reeled it in. On day one, he had a similar opportunity, and he wasn't as successful as this time, and that was a very good catch, because of course you know that there was no slip fieldsman, and anything that goes to his left or his right, it has to be his, so he couldn't have left it for anyone. And that was a good delivery by Braxy, very close and tight to Katoy, no room for him to free his arms, as he has been doing all over.
Right, and so far he has executed that plan quite well.
Definitely agree with those comments. Really, really good 3 deliveries in this over, and the pressure continues to be piled on. Charleston Stowe make it joins Gideon Pope, 2 power hitters. This could possibly be where the game can be taken away if they get in and get some super sixes under their belt.
When he was bowling on the more docile pitch, that he was also getting the ball to lift quite that shot, but it's definitely surprised too.
Yeah, it doesn't look as if he's putting much effort, but he's hitting the right areas, and definitely that one was on to stop before he knew it.
Again, you see some changes in the field. And in keeping what we have seen thus far, we have 3 deep fieldsmen on the leg side, from square to long on. But no fieldsman is going to stop that one. He needed to be in the stand.
That to the Lord about double-decker for a Sunshine Smasher, and that was the first full pitch delivery into the area of the batters from Braxy, and he will be advised not to go in that area because Pope is on the go, Miles.
Yes, I think Brown would not be too disappointed. I mean, the ball was hitting the general area where his fielders are. I think it was slightly fuller, but he didn't get as much bounce as the previous deliveries.
wanted to take the strike, and so decides to take a single. They're now at 61 for 2 after 7 overs. They now require 54 from 18 deliveries, and at this stage, the Grenadine Divers, they were on 64 for 1. Very, very, very close, the Worms here.
Yes, but the interesting stat here is that the Grenadine Divers were able to get 50 runs, right, from here on out. And the Fort Charlotte Strikers would have to replicate that if they are to stand any chance of competing in this game.
Yes, and it's very nicely poised at this moment, and I would think that if this game goes to the last ball, based on where we are now, and you still do not know who's going to win off that very last delivery, then we are in for a humdinger.
Braxy Brown's brother, looks like Razim, is going to be taking up the attack from the Beckway end. Another seamer.
Yes, and the Brown brothers, they bowled very steadily in the few matches thus far, and I expect more of the same. Let's see how Pope goes against them. And there was Latchman Airborne, a la Junior Murray. We are here in the windows, but we'll also say a la Jeff Dujon, but he wasn't able to reel that one in off the pads of...
For Charlotte Strikers.
Yes, they would take them anyway to get them. And that is the difficulty in having your third man and fine leg both up inside the circle. Anything that beats that inner ring generally tends to run away, especially on this fast Annisville outfield.
Goes into the vicinity of the mid-wicket area. One bounce to McCoy. McCoy does the field and gets it in, and the score moves on to 6-7. 6-7 for 1. And this, the 8th over of the Grenadine Divers innings, they got 21, and so it's going to be very, very important for the Fort Charlotte Strikers to replicate that.
Yeah, as I've been saying all along, they need a 20-run over. One of these 3 overs needs to go for in excess of 20 for them to stand a chance. And who knows, it may be the last over, but hopefully for their sake, they would want to make sure that it doesn't take them into the last over to get more than 20 runs.
Yes, I think Brown has quite a unique action here. It looks as though he's bowling off of the wrong foot, and I think that in itself, provides a little bit of difficulty for the batsman in terms of his rhythm and momentum and their timing.
But these guys are from Beckway, Chelson and Braxy and Razim, they're from the Beckway, the island of Beckway, so they should know each other well. They've played together before, currently not playing on the same unit, I believe, but I'm thinking that there should be some knowledge of each other.
Yes, don't need to get a bat on this one. Very good delivery there by Brown. Full delivery, and basically as to advanced, he turned it into a Yorker. He yorked himself. He wasn't able to get a bat to it, and that is a very key wicket there taken by the Grenadine Divers.
I'm thinking, I'm looking at the lineup, the batsman coming now. I know he loves to hit the ball. I'm not sure if he should have been in earlier.
Yes, that is my thinking as well. Williams. There and hitting the ball quite well. You need someone who will be able to turn over the strike, and allow him to continue with the momentum that he has.
So Renwick Williams has joined Gideon Pope. The score is 6-7 for 3. We are into over number 8. We would have 14 deliveries remaining, and they require to score 48 for victory from those 14 deliveries.
So excellent over thus far by Razim Brown.
One beats him outside the awesome as he goes for a mighty heave, looking to target the long position there, Renwick Williams, and he would definitely need to reduce the number of diamond deliveries being bowled at this stage by the Grenadine Divers bowlers. That's a beautiful Yorker. Really well bowled. And this is an excellent over that just came to an end. I believe that Razim Brown has come to the party and he has bowled an awesome over here for the efforts of the Grenadine Divers team.
Yes, and looking at Razim's ball, as I mentioned before, the over was going very well. And this over actually is putting a mark on this game and determining the outcome. This over, he was very tight. He didn't concede many runs and he picked up 2 vitally important wickets. And with excellent deliveries, I might add. The deliveries were not necessarily batsmen mistakes, but they were actually very good attacking wicket-taking deliveries.
Right, so when we were looking at the bowlers to complete the 4 in the back end, we have seen Razim, the brothers, the Razim and Braxy Brown, they have come in and have done really good work for the Grenadine Divers. Now putting them in a position where they would have to bowl badly, in my estimation, to lose it from here.
Yes, definitely. The Brown brothers have
They require 48 runs to win. Let's see if we're going to have a flourish at the end. Then I make it within the time, or probably just over. Tugs that one down to Lawn. He refuses the single.
Stage with over 20 runs required off the 2 overs which are left. I understand that what Pope is trying to do, but you may be well served in taking every run which is available until the last one.
And this is gone out of this. Is it no? Just behind that concrete area behind the scoreboard, the old scoreboard there. And listen, Pope is backing himself. He's just struck another sunset smasher, and there probably need to be a replacement ball. Now we see it's coming back here. It has to be checked because it was struck fiercely there by Goodwin Pope.
Yes, I was just about to say that Pope should be trying to take everyone which is available. I know he wants to hit the ball, but we are hoping for his sake that he doesn't get many dot balls in this over, because every dot ball will take the required run rate up very sharply with only just a handful of deliveries remaining. So for his sake, he would want to keep that going as far as the sunset smashers are concerned.
And he's going through mid-wicket, over mid-wicket for another sunset smasher. Pope is telling us the game isn't over yet. 6 more, 79. I make it 79 for 4. They now require 36 from 9 deliveries. Pope has gone past 50. He swings and misses.
And Obed continues with the slow deliveries. I think he might be well served trying to go for the Yorker and keeping it outside off stump. He may run the risk of getting an outside edge on the third man for 4, but a 4 is always better than a 6.
Yes, I think McCoy can mix it up a bit more here. Pope has really peppered that mid-wicket cover corner area.
goes again. Did he get enough on this one? Doesn't seem so. Yes, it does. Through the hands of Pope. Is it? Through the hands of Brown. Down there again in the mid-wicket corner area. 6 more to Pope. Pope moves on to the highest. Well, he's equaled the highest individual score for the tournament. 59 not out. Another opportunity for a catch, but this one may have been difficult. Right on the edge, and it is 85 for 4. Guess what? 30 required from 7 deliveries.
And the question is now, should he look for another 6 or should he try to get on strike for the last over? With all of 30 runs remaining, I think he'll have to see how much he can get.
That's shot over the shoulder. That's wide called by umpire Davis. And there's some noise coming from the few spectators we have. It looks like we probably have about 40, if so much, because I know there's some in the Mike Finley Pavilion and the PHP Vera stand. There's some in the boxes as well, in the Frank Thomas stand. So the crowd is getting into it. The players in their dugouts are getting into it. Miles, this is where I know you like these situations. You like to get 20 or 5.
Well, I actually prefer to get 5 off 20.
Wide again. Is McCoy bowling into the hands of the 4 challenge strikers, my colleagues?
No, well, I could see with that delivery, if he had just gotten it a few inches to closer to off stump, then he would have gotten away with that delivery. And I think that is in line and in length that he should be seeking to bowl at this point to Pope, who is fully warmed up, striking the ball very fiercely to the onside, and ask him to do something different.
It doesn't get enough on this. Hooper takes a catch. Hooper says, you're not going to get more than I scored today. Hooper was left not out in 59. Pope has been dismissed on 59. And I'm not sure if we should say, as Pope goes, the hopes of 4 challenge strikers also goes with him.
Yes, here we see McCoy finally making the adjustment, adjusting the line, bowling this one a bit wider, asking Pope to do a lot more if he wants to hit it to that deep mid-wicket area. And Pope was not equal to the task and holding out just on the 30-yard circle at mid-off.
Yes, I actually need to confess that I wanted Pope to. Of his through the mid-wicket region, and he was able to execute on those last couple of deliveries, and he got the benefit of actually dismissing the dangerous Pope, and with that, it is very hard to see how the 4 challenge strikers are going to win this game.
20 needed from 6 deliveries, and Alonzo Belingi can be a hero. This is his first innings. He has 6 balls to face, and if he can dispatch a couple sunset strikers, he will be lifted off the field. It might be a lot to do to lift him off, but he'll be lifted off the field by his teammates. That looks very close, but it goes. Umpire says not out, into the pad, and Ray Jordan comes into strike.
And with the lens that Razim Brown, with the lens that he has been bowling in these 2 overs, it would make it very difficult for the batsman to get 20 odd runs. Look at the length. He has been hitting that Yorker, very close appeal for LBW on the previous delivery, and if he continues to bowl in that general area, it will be nigh on impossible for these batsmen to get 20 something runs off of him.
Ray Jordan goes down to the long arm position. They get 1, and the ones cannot fill the basket here for 4 challenge strikers. It's 88 for 5, so we have 4 deliveries, 27 runs required. Really good bowling by by Brown. I'm really impressed with what he has done, and he has bowled some lengths that are challenging the batsman. This one pitching again and coming into the batsman sharply, and Vincy could not do anything else but to play it in front of him and get a single. 25 from 3 deliveries. Portion of the bat into the mid-wicket area. It looks like Cooper coming around and doing the fielding there. Another single, and not calling the ball. And so almost done and dusted. I make it. You're gonna have to have some wides going all over the place on no balls in order for Charlotte strikers to come out with a win in this one. Straight back over the bowler, mid-off comes, long off comes into play. Fields now, that's Pope, and 1 delivery to go. The score is 92 for 5, but in all that we've seen so far today, much better cricket by the 4 teams that we've seen on show on this sumptuous Sunday of special cricket. This is fitting. Isn't this fitting? Ends it with another Yorker, and I think he has executed the Yorker as well, and he has bowled 2 excellent over, making sure that the Grenadine Divers pull off their first win of the tournament.
Yes, he has definitely responded to the call of his captain today. He came on and he was right on the money from the very first over. I did mention that with Cooper and McCoy